Hello, and welcome back to Addiction Solutions with Roselle. So glad that you could join me for another episode. As I say at the beginning of every show, I want you to go to YouTube, type in Addiction Solutions with Roselle, and subscribe to the channel. It's free, doesn't cost anything. And in the meantime, tell your neighbors, co-workers, family members, church members, friends, let them know about Addiction Solutions with Roselle. There might be some information in there that can help them. To this point, we've did over 20 videos. And so there might be some information in there that could really help them. So what we're going to do, I'm going to talk a little bit more about recovery. I talked about it last week. And so I want to stay with this for a little while because it's so important. We've talked so much about the addiction and the disease of addiction. Now we need to get a little information that it is possible to recover. Now, you're never recovered, but you're always in the process of recovery because recovery is an ongoing event, and it's daily. So there's no such thing as, I'm recovered. Now, my first therapist that I had, a serious therapist regarding addiction, told me, he said, Roselle, you'll be recovered 3 days after you're dead. I was like, what? He said, Roselle, it's an ongoing process. He said, it's a daily process. Now, as I told you last week, my clean date, June 22nd, 1990, was the last time I had a drink. June 22nd, 1990 was the last time I had heroin. Now, you say, okay, why are you mentioning this? I had a slip with opiates, with pain pills. Yes, I had a series of operations. And finally, the doctor sent me to a pain management clinic. So I'm under a doctor's care. And so I'm quite sure the doctor knows how much medication I'm getting. And so they are trying to prescribe the medication so that I'm, not in discomfort. But an addict, the pills, they don't know the difference. They don't know the difference if a doctor prescribed it or the dope man prescribed it. All they know is now I have re-entered his body and I'm going to interrupt his recovery. So after a couple of more surgeries, the opiates was not working, so they threw morphine in the pot. So now I got morphine going and I got the opiates going and I'm losing my mind. I'm going nuts. Yes, all the addictions exploded. Everything came out except cigarettes. I didn't smoke, but man, I was doing the scratch-offs again. I had the credit cards again. I was shopping again. All of the things that I had under arrest, they came alive. And so I'm sharing all of this because it's about honesty. I can't sit up here and do videos and shows and don't tell you the truth. So I was not tricked. After a while, I knew I was addicted. I had my wife hiding the pills and giving them to her, and she'd leave to go to work, and I'd tear the house up and find them and try to take a few out the bottle and so that she wouldn't realize it, but she knew. She could come back and tell that things had been disrupted, So who was I hurting? Me. So I tried to go and get some help. I was in a little 5-day program, waste of time. So they gave me some Suboxone to, stop the withdrawal symptoms, because it's painful. And so, but I got discharged on the day I was supposed to go to the pain management clinic to get my pills. So what good did that do? So I'm back taking the pills again. It don't take, a few days. I'm back out there again. So finally, I told my wife, I said, look, I've had it. She looked at me like I was crazy. She said, I really don't believe you, but I'm telling you, I've had it. And yeah, it almost cost me my marriage. And she had every right. I know she was hurt. to see me going through what I was going through, because my wife never knew me when I was really addicted. She did not know me at all. When she met me, I was in recovery, and she went to most of my open talks, most of the things that I did for recovery. She was there supporting me. So she took me to the facility, and so I was in there maybe a night or a day, and they came and told me that they had a veterans program that was on the same floor, and asked me if I wanted to go to across the hall to the veterans program. And I said, yeah, sure. So I went to the veterans program. I had a doctor. He prescribed the Suboxone. He said, look, it's going to be a little while before, you get, the opiates and morphine out of your system. But if you stay with us, we'll make sure when you leave here that you're on a different track. So I ended up staying 28 days. And so it was what I needed. It was what I needed. I needed to take a good look at Roselle and how I had allowed surgery, because surgery is surgery, but we can make excuses to get high and end up, I could have easily went back to heroin. I could have went back to methadone. I could have went back all the way back to 1965 or 66. I could have went all the way back there. And so it's been a little over 4 years, since I've had a pain pill. And, I'm in pain to some extent. The Suboxone really doesn't cover the ground that a pain pill covers. But nevertheless, if you can't control it, which we know we can't. If I could control the pain pills, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys now about this. I'd be talking about recovery, but not this. So I couldn't control it. And so consequently, I had to give up 27 years of recovery. But I gladly gave them up, because I can't sit up here and lie and fool people, but I haven't had a drink, and I have been around some alcohol. Trust me. I just left DC in my son's home for Labor Day, and he has enough alcohol to float a battleship. Nevertheless, I did not take a drink, and I'm proud of that, because I was an alcoholic as well as a drug addict. So, drug of choice, probably was heroin, but I love to drink too. And so anyway, I'm going to do a little more on recovery next week. In the meantime, stay blessed, stay honest to yourself, stay true to yourself, and I'll see you next week. Thanks. Have a great day.